Hello and welcome to this special Out of Lives live stream, and it is a post reaction to the Microsoft EA. It's very.
I know you're tired, Ross, so I'll let you off.
Yeah, you can tell for anyone who's watching this in video how tired I look. We have just watched the EA conference, and joining me is the Queen of Indies, Lucy.
Hello.
Everyone's favourite pet, it's Dave Wyatt.
Hello.
And my lover and best friend is Kevin Tarn.
What up?
Whoa. Best
So
friend.
guys, sorry.
Yeah, I feel a bit hurt now.
Aww. Well guys, the EA conference is just finished, and I think everyone seemed quite positive about it this year.
Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, they had bits and pieces. They showed some new games like that Fee. There wasn't much Star Wars, which was a bit of a disappointment. A lot of people wanted to see more on that.
Yeah, I would agree.
They did a really good job of not announcing or showing anything new. Obviously they showed new stuff, but they did a good job of mentioning that other games that they've got, but not showing us anything new about them. It's like, look at this we've got working on that you already know about and have already seen. We got nothing new on it. Good night.
They did that last year. They like showed behind the scenes work and all that for Mass Effect. I can't believe they did it for Mass Effect. I would have thought we would have seen a trailer by now, because I'm sure that's out early next year as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest shock is Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that Mass Effect. It was a CG or behind the scenes trailer, which they were heavily criticised for last year with Mirror's Edge and Battlefront. So you surprised that that's what they did again?
Yeah, because throughout the whole conference they were saying, we've heard your feedback, we know what players want, this and that, and they just pulled the same thing again. It was just strange.
Right. And Dave, you're a big Mass Effect player.
I have actually played all of them. I'm not a Mass Effect fan.
Right.
That said, probably will try this one out.
Okay.
I like the look of it. I mean, it's made in Frostbite this time as well, and it looks good. It's a whole new starting point. So I don't feel like, because I never finished the third one. I never finished any of them. I finished the first one, and that was it. I actually thought it looks quite good, but I thought the others looked good as well. But
it's hard to judge at this point. Didn't see much of it, so.
Kev, what's your thoughts?
Well, I actually missed the Mass Effect bit because I was writing at the time, but it must have been really quick because I didn't even register it was on.
It was more just a behind-the-scenes video, there wasn't it? It wasn't anything. There was not many, little to no new details and footage, and I didn't come away from that knowing anything more about it than I did going in.
How many years are they into development of that now? It must be quite a few.
Well, you'd think
coming out,
they must be pretty. This is the point where you'd show it, because even if it's like something like Fallout 4, you're showing footage and then releasing 6 months later, that's pretty much what Mass Effect would be now, unless it's delayed again, which, if they're not showing gameplay footage at the moment, that may well be the case.
Yeah, but they need to? They don't need to show Mass Effect footage, because people are going to buy it. If you like Mass Effect, you're going to get it. It's going to sell really well without them having to show, And for a story-heavy game, what can you show off other than a bit of gameplay, You can't show too much of the story because you'll spoil stuff. So.
Yeah, well, I guess EA are moving away from, the conference sort of thing, so there's, more than enough time for them just to, put out a trailer on YouTube or something like that, or on their website to get people excited about it and stuff like that. So I guess it's, with their departure from what is the norm for like E3 and everything like that, it's no surprise that they didn't show much gameplay footage in the direction that they're going in, so who knows.
We then, moving on, we got not one but two, well, we're not doing this in order, but two trailers for Titanfall 2. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that excited me quite a lot.
Oh my god, cannot wait.
I think it was the best thing at the conference.
Pants off.
That grappling hook.
The grappling hook. So anyone hasn't seen it, at the end of the trailer, he gets ejected from his Titan. he fires up into the air, he sees someone else that the same things happen to, and he grapple hooks him over to him, sort of like Scorpion Mortal Kombat style. And I just wanted to cry out, finish him! But that way, it was a fantastic moment for the trailer, and that game got me gushing.
Yeah, and it's surprising that they showed it first. I'm surprised they showed that first, because it was the best thing in the conference, to be honest.
Well, we knew after the leaks earlier today that it was coming up early, because I keep on saying Microsoft, EA inadvertently leaked or started live streaming their event too early.
Yeah, was it? They were practicing, weren't they?
Yeah, and they started streaming it, so people had already seen the Titanfall multiplayer trailer.
No, it was a single player trailer.
It's single player, yeah. This was
single player. Sorry.
Yeah. Which, for the first time ever, I'm more looking forward to a multiplayer part of the game than the single player.
No, don't start, because we don't want them to think that we don't want the single player now.
But that's the thing. I can imagine this is generic star. It could have been Mass Effect, and it was like, yeah, whatever. Mass Effect with a robot.
I honestly can see people being like, why did we need a single player? We don't need a single player and all that. Like, I can just see where you fuckers. When the first one goes, where's the single player? Now it's like, who needs a single player?
I never wanted single player in Titanfall. I never wanted it, and now they've got it, and it's probably just going to be some generic crap anyway. So.
I think you're probably the minority there.
I personally think that the storyline is just going to be Kit from Knight Rider. That is basically, you're just going to be it's just the whole episodes of Knight Rider just going after it. He's going to speak to you when you're riding him.
I am surprised that they're giving a Titan almost a personality sort of thing. That was a bit like, okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Iron Giant, but not as good.
It's something that you climb inside and drive. Like, if I one day I woke up and my shoes were talking, I'd be really weird about getting inside of them. And it's no different for a giant robot.
You've been inside talking things before. It's a quiet one you've got to look out for.
Right.
But for me, I actually think the single player looked quite good. And I don't know, I've rewatched the trailer since it finished, and there was a section where the Titan actually seemed to launch the pilot. So picked him up and threw him. So there might be some problem solving or some puzzle or something like that along those lines. We have to think about where for the Titan to throw you, where you got to eject to get to somewhere to get things done. And it seems like if that's the route they're going, that could be an interesting mechanic, not an all-in-out shooter single player, but shooting elements, of course, but with some problem solving involved.
To be honest, it looked like a set piece to me, rather than more player-driven puzzles like that. It looked. I mean, Vince Zampella and all them, they made the Call of Duty formula. It just seemed like a lot of set pieces to me. So.
Right, could be.
But if what you're saying is true, then yeah, I'd definitely be interested in it.
Yeah.
I'm only taking that from the 2 seconds of a trailer that I've seen, but that's what I'd like to happen with it. Have some problem-solving moments in it, and that would make it a lot more interesting for me.
It can go two ways. It can be a really generic start to finish campaign, or they can put I hope they put a bit of effort in. I want a bit more story anyway, because the story of Titanfall is quite interesting, but in the first game you just didn't know it because you never saw any of it. So that's what I'm just looking forward to a bit of story with my game rather than the actual single player itself. I want to know a bit more of a narrative to it. But if it is just a case of these robotic crabs need shooting, go and shoot them for this level, then fuck it. But I really hope that because we still haven't seen much about whether we can customize our Titans or not, and I really want to if they can talk now, I want to kind of change their voice a bit. I want to do a high-pitched Titan.
You could do that in the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a bit more than that. I want to be able, so you can be like, okay, let's go get the bad guys. Yeah.
If anyone is listening, what we really want is you've had your game face for FIFA and Madden. We want game voice, where we go in and record our voices to be put in the game for our Titans.
Oh, that's
what we're looking for.
You would just be like, shoot the cunt, shoot the cunt, shoot the cunt.
You know me so well.
We got a quick look at some of the new abilities. We're going to have a teleport. That looks quite cool. It's totally set up, that scene though, wouldn't it? You know, the guy runs in the room shooting, and the other one teleports behind him, and then he's like, "Huh? Where'd he go?" Shooting in front of him, and then he come up behind him and stabbed him in the neck. I don't see that happening much, because as soon as someone teleports in your vicinity, you're going to immediately turn around, aren't you?
What? That's just Mortal Kombat again. That's what Raiden did. It's just ripping off Mortal Kombat Titanfall 2. I've decided.
So far, best game of E3. Even though it's not.
Yeah.
yeah. I know, even though it's not E3 yet officially.
It is. Everyone still considers it E3. Like.
Yeah.
All the hashtags still said E3. Like.
Exactly.
I know EA's trying to kid.
We're not going to be at E3 this year. We're just going to have 2 live events across other ends of the world and have a press conference the day before.
Yeah, if they didn't want to be part of E3, they'd have done it last week or in 2 weeks' time. The fact that they do it the day before means that they want to be part of E3. Let's be honest.
Now,
anyway.
We mentioned it earlier on, Star Wars. So there was not 1, not 2, but 3 Star Wars games discussed.
I think there was about 900.
I turned off a bit of the mobile one. I think I looked up because I was writing at the time, and then I said, actually, that looks quite good. And then I thought, EA mobile game, probably not.
Having played it, I don't see the appeal at all.
Right. I just want the chess game.
It's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, if that's what it is, I might quite like it. You know, that Star Trek or Star Wars chess has always really interested me. But the big one was, well, first of all, there is the Respawn Star Wars game.
Yep.
I can't remember the details of that. You wrote the story, so...
It's third-person one.
Yeah, first-person action-adventure game. We saw some very brief sort of early in-game footage of a bloke walking past a wall. He touched the wall, and then he walks out, and it looks like a sort of Tatooine-type planet.
Mm.
I mean,
so couldn't we just put this in Battlefield then? Battlefront?
No.
No,
because it's going to be a story-driven game by the looks of it.
So we've got 2 story, because we've got Amy Visceral game as well.
Yeah, which is, they want to make an what is it they said? What was exactly that she said? I can't remember. Completely gone from my head.
What's that?
What she said that they wanted to make. An authentic and original story set in the Star Wars universe. That was what I was trying to remember. I had to load my article up first.
I just realised I'm the only one on camera.
Yeah, that's because you love yourself.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's 2 story-driven Star Wars games.
Right. Okay. Then we had Battlefront. I'm getting mixed up with all the word battles in the EA games. We got Battlefront. There's an expansion coming, which we already knew about, and Battlefront 2 next year, which is set in. Well, part of it is set in the new movies.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. I liked Battlefront for 10 minutes.
I like Battlefront for we got 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got 8 hours of that left.
I've still got 10 hours of that left, but I played the beta, and then the sound design and like the visuals are fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Is Kev still here? Kev, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Right, are you falling asleep?
I thought he died. I actually thought he died because there was a fire in his house. That's what was going on.
Just to remind you, we've still got Bethesda and 4 hours to go. So.
I bet he's wanking over that Titanfall 2 trailer. I bet that's
Watching
what
the Battlefront feed at the minute, aren't you, Kev?
doing.
You're watching the Battlefield feed at the minute. I've got it open as well.
Well, next we're going to talk about exactly that.
There was 4 Star Wars games, by the way. You forgot the Criterion Star Wars VR game.
Oh, so that's right, a post-conference. So Dave Scammell from Video Gamer immediately after it finished tweeted an image saying, why does it say Criterion on that? And then 2 minutes later it was announced Criterion are doing a PSVR mission. It just said experience, didn't it?
Yeah.
For that'll be interesting. But yeah, Criterion.
Again,
yeah.
that was 4 games that they announced but didn't tell us anything about.
Exactly.
This is the
I'm
point
already
I was
bored of
making.
Star Wars games, and that not even the second one is coming
They've
out.
got that license, they're
Bored of
making
it.
the most of it.
I just want TIE Fighter. was so hard to do that. You know
They'll
what I
be
mean?
in the next Battlefront. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, hopefully. So I'm going to move on to Battlefield.
Yeah, look good. Stunning visuals.
So, yeah, again, the trailer was fantastic. They teased it. They look absolutely amazing. And just one thing to remember, that entire thing was rendered in engine, probably in a high-spec PC, but still an engine. But it looks absolutely beautiful. And the live stream that's going on at the moment, whilst we talk, the game looks amazing. Why did you not just show that?
You do wonder.
You know, it's like they
on
could have
Frostbite?
just shown that as the part of the trailer and just said, yeah, we're going to show 5 minutes of a game right now. That would have got me more hyped, I think, than the one that they did show.
Yeah, same. Is that in Frostbite as well?
Yeah, Frostbite as
Yeah.
well. Everything's in Frostbite now.
Yeah, they've moved everything over. Haven't
Yeah. So guys, Kev, we're going to start with you before you fall asleep. You love your CODs and Battlefields. I'm not saying Battlefront for Battlefield. Battlefield. So what's your thoughts about all of this? Like, what do you think of this game?
Well, first off about the game, it just looks incredible. Like, I'm watching the stream now, and I know this is probably like high-end PC stuff, but I'm guessing it's going to look spectacular on consoles as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, is it 32 versus 32? It was, wasn't it?
64 player.
Yeah, that's going to be insane. Was Battlefield 4 32?
I think it was 32. No, it was 64.
It was 64.
Yeah, it's the same.
So you're right. Yeah, I wonder why they've like toned that down. Then it must be because of like
Look at all the issues.
issues running online and stuff.
But it's
Yeah,
not toned down. It's still the same.
What, the amount of players?
Yeah, it was 32 versus 32, so 64 in
Was it?
total.
Oh, I thought you meant it was 64.
No,
64.
no. The 128 was reserved for PC, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Then. But yeah, the game looks incredible, and like seeing this footage now, I'm going to be buying this over Call of Duty this year. It's just the game just looks incredible. I mean, there's the tanks, the dogfights with the biplanes.
yeah.
They look really, really good, and they've got all the old weapons, but it doesn't seem like really slow gameplay. It still seems quite fast.
Yeah.
So,
Imagine it does seem like back to the old Call of Duties where you can hear the bullets whizzing by your head.
yeah.
A lot less bullets. Have you noticed that as well? Because there seems to be a lot more reloading going on and melee and things like that. So it's certainly a change, as you said. The pace is still there though, so I can't wait for this. And I tell you something, see if I ever buy a DLC pack with a game, it's usually Battlefield, because the amount of content you get with a Battlefield Premium is unbelievable. You get years worth of content out of it.
I'm just wondering how many guns they can come up with for World War One.
7.
I'm going to guess 9.
They did say there was 6 weapon classes, I think.
But I think they're putting a big focus on melee weapons in this as well, so they're going to see like all different kinds of melee weapons.
Yeah, so the marketing out this week was you wouldn't bring a grenade to a tank fight, and then they show a guy destroying a tank with a grenade. It was a cluster of grenades, but you know, the marketing strategy is very, very smart. The way they introduced it was very, very smart. The way they said, "Oh, we were pitched this." Really, when we know was this, when someone pitched a World War One game, they went, "Oh my God, no!" It took a bit of persuasion, but they've got this right, and you can just tell by watching this live stream that everyone and their granny is going to pick this up, and they're going to have a blast with it.
I hope so, because you know, Battlefield. I mean, it's not my preferred shooter. I did prefer Call of Duty for ages, but I think you know they are great games at the same time. So I think they've done everything right. That initial trailer was fantastic. I mean, it even made me consider, oh, should I pick this up? But no, I'm just going to wait till it comes to EA Access. But yeah, I mean, it's the antithesis of Call of Duty this year. I mean, Call of Duty looks not too good from what we saw from the trailer. It probably still won't outsell Call of Duty. That's not a real surprise.
No, this could be the year.
I don't think so.
I wasn't planning on getting either, and now after seeing that, I'm still not planning on getting either.
I'm looking forward to seeing the campaign on this as well.
Yeah, that's the most interesting part of it. But as I said, you know, it'll be free in 6 months. So.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Okay, a year. I can wait a year.
I'm probably going to spend £100 in this game.
No, Battlefield single player is always bad. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm still, I'm going to probably buy the premium version because I'll get my money's worth out of that.
They support the DLC for years. I mean, I'm sure Battlefield 4, DLC came out not that long ago.
They're giving away Battlefield 4 DLC for free last week, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, it's part of EA Access,
Yeah.
I wonder, because EA Access is in free trial, I wonder if you could go in there now and you wouldn't keep after the EA Access trial, but basically now on Xbox, if you've got EA Access, you can have every single premium bit of DLC for Battlefield 4 as well as Battlefield 4 right now. And it's so many maps, so many different game modes, everything. I'm going to, actually, when I log off this, I might go and play Battlefield.
Yeah. And to mention, I think it's free for all Xbox Gold members.
Yeah.
As well, isn't it?
So. It's funny how everyone's forgotten Battlefield Hardline as well.
Oh, that was terrible.
See, that was the one I was interested in, and I actually played it and was like, wow, this is not what I was expecting.
I played that single player, Jesus Christ.
That was bad. Back to the conferences and not games that were crap from last year. I'm going to talk a bit about FIFA.
I'll see you all in the morning. Have a good
night.
Right, so FIFA has moved across, as well as Madden, to the Frostbite engine.
Fantastic. Now moving on.
which means you now have destructible goalposts.
I'd play it if we had that. That would be incredible.
I thought he was being serious for a second.
So Frostbite was set up for destructible environments, so we're probably going to see marks in the turf where the ball was and would have kicked it up. But no, like, the big thing for FIFA is they've actually listened to the fans, something we've been crying out for a lot of years, and that is a single player mode. And although it was a bit cringeworthy when an actor came on stage and pretended to be
student,
Hunter, I think his name is, in the game, you play as him, and it's supposedly a real rags to riches story. And
very generic.
Very generic. You pick your Premiership club, you start off at youth level, you work your way up, you make off-field decisions as well about your life, and there'll be branching stories. Can you believe in FIFA there's going to be a branching story arc?
You're joking around and everything, but like, as someone who has never been interested in FIFA, this is the first time the game stood out. I thought, actually, that looks right. I'm not a football fan. I'm definitely not a FIFA fan because you release the same game every year. I'm not going to be fucking interested. But this, at least it's something new. This is different to last year's.
It's new and somewhat interesting, but I don't want to play as a millennial and he's like deciding, should I get Beats headphones or Bose headphones to wear on the stupid advert? I don't want to play that. It's like, oh god, just get to the game.
That will be interesting to see what it is, but imagine it'll be like deciding transfer decisions, deciding whether to go out and loan, what haircut you have for the next game.
Oh god,
which celebrity pop star you're going to shag in the back of a limousine.
It's going to be The Sims, isn't it?
Basically, Sims House Party, but on FIFA. Should you let your girlfriend go on a night out with John Terry? It's all the decisions.
Don't forget this is live. Don't be further.
You're going to have to make some really, really heavy decisions there. But on a positive note, Madden looks good. FIFA looks good. They've redesigned the way that you do set pieces to make it a little bit better, something that's been crying out for.
They've introduced managers as well, haven't they?
They have. So Jose Mourinho will get paid a fortune for 2 minutes work and walked on stage. They've introduced managers who are animated at the side of the field, something else that has been asked for, and surprisingly, I don't know why they haven't done that before.
Yeah, I want to see Pardew beat up some people up on that.
If you notice, everything is English Premiership orientated, so you're not going to have that in Italy. It's only the Premiership. Every Premiership stadium has been modelled, every Premiership manager has been modelled, and in the single player you pick a Premiership club. So this isn't a worldwide thing, this is literally Premiership. And that is, from what I'm reading on Twitter, that is universal across the world because of the deal they have with the Barclays Premier League.
Well, it's the most popular league in the world, so...
God knows why. It was this year. But I'm really interested in FIFA this year, and for the first time, they didn't even mention Ultimate Team.
Only in that charity bit. No,
Sorry, was we all supposed to gasp then?
Well, it's just like the biggest thing that they make money off of. Like, just to explain to you, they make more money off of FIFA Ultimate Team than they do anything else that they sell together.
Wow.
Right, so that all the money for all the other game sales they do, they make more money off of FIFA Ultimate Team than that. And well, they started to from last year. So for them not to mention it during a press conference,
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
surprising,
big.
actually.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more coming up for it, but you know, the fact that they put so much focus on the single player modes was really, really positive to me, and hopefully the move across to Frostbite will just allow for a bit, you know, something a little bit different. Maybe it'll play a little bit different.
Destructible grass. That's what it's
Destructible grass, exactly correct. Yeah, it'd be like, I don't know. What can you know? Why have they moved to Frostbite? Just because they use Frostbite for everything?
Well, I read that it was they could improve crowd animations,
Yes.
and, like, motion of like flags and stuff. I don't know. It's just little things that will add to the overall game experience.
Also, there was a mention of weather on every single EA game, right? So they seem to have brought in a weather model and decided to use it on everything where weather is dynamic.
Right. Okay.
So rain,
Just
can
rain.
be
Just rain, rain, rain.
snow. You know, it can be sunny, but the weather can change midway through a game. For example, you know, rain could be lighter but get heavier. It's quite interesting to see. You know, things like that. Whether there's a trivia question for you. What was the first game to ever bring in a dynamic weather system?
Spyro.
Wrong.
Need for Speed.
Wrong.
FIFA.
Wrong. Shenmue.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
course it
honestly, if we've got to the point where we're doing trivia about one game, I don't even need to move on or end the pod.
Right. Okay. Well, what else was there to show at this event?
Fee.
Yeah.
Fee. So, our Queen of Indies. Why don't you guide us through Fee?
Yeah, I mean, it's been made by Zoink Games, Swedish developer. They made Zombie Vikings, which is still being ported over to most consoles this year, and they made Stick It to the Man as well. It seems like they made Stick It to the Man. It seems like quite a departure for them, to be honest, because they're used to their comedic games. I mean, I think they even did an Adventure Time game back in the day, but so yeah, this looks different, and I think they're really appealing to that whole emotional, evocative thing that Yanni did. So yeah, it looks interesting. Yeah, I was expecting a Yanni gritty reboot, but you know, this will do.
I thought it was quite an interesting looking title. Not really for me personally, but like, yeah, it was different. It wasn't what I was expecting to pop up. I was expecting Unravel 2, because didn't they say that was coming?
Yeah, that's coming, but I think it's a bit too early at the moment.
Gamescom, because it's a European studio, isn't it? So.
To be fair, I think the biggest news to come out of that was that EA Originals, which is going to help developers and like helping with publishing, development, advertising, stuff like that. And they said they're going to give all the profits back to the companies. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of games come out of that program.
It's like Ubiart though, isn't it? And there's a few other ones, but it's not new.
Isn't it? It's the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I can't say I've heard of it either.
No, I just mean as in just big companies releasing smaller indie style.
Yeah, but
titles.
they never give back 100% of the profit to the developer.
No, that's true. Okay, that's very true.
They normally come in after the game's created, don't they? And then like
publish it. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't actually help through development. So you know all the resources EA have, it can probably help these smaller studios.
There's got to be a catch though, because I don't know what would be in it for
probably
them.
first rights to refuse.
Could be. I don't know.
Well, you're getting your EA branding onto it. You're developing a studio. You know, I think there must be a financial benefit to it because EA. But
if it pops up in EA Access, I mean, you got to pay that fee as well. So yeah, it could be. Who knows?
Yeah, very true.
I'd love to see the business behind it.
But
what about the game itself?
It looks alright. It looks alright. You know.
I look to the tree and think I need to sing to that to make it to move.
You mean you don't already?
Now and again, depends how many E3 conferences I've written about.
I sing to my shower every morning, so.
Yeah.
It did definitely get a bit hippy dippy late for me.
Is there another game called Shadow?
No.
No, it was a little purple guy, and the colour scheme is pretty much the same.
It looks early in development to me, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's not out till like really late next year or maybe early 2018 or something like that.
And what does Evan think? Does he?
So on that note, we're going to round up the pod. We will be back probably tomorrow morning with our Bethesda reaction podcast. But in the meantime, make sure you check us out on Twitter at Out of Lies Pod, on Facebook at Facebook/Out of Lies Pod, and finally visit our website for all the latest news and everything else on E3 at outoflies.net. I've been your host Ross, and I've been joined by this ragamuffin crew, and we'll speak to you soon.
I ain't no muffin.
Bye bye.